How important is the PSAT? Well, for financial awards, it's not that important. The most one can get now is still $2,500. It's nice, but by contrast, the kind of award you can get with a really good SAT score or an ACT score is $25,000 a year for 4 straight years, and it could be even higher. So that 2,500 one-time award kind of pales in comparison. And the National Merit Scholarship Corporation, they're the ones who actually distribute the awards, and they use the PSAT as their main basis. They have been means testing it of late, so a family that's well off isn't even getting a full $2,500 anyway. There's also a lot of hoops to go through beyond just the PSAT. So it's nice to have an extra 2,500, but it's really nice to have an extra 125,000, and that happens with SAT merit-based scholarships. Now, how about for admissions? Is the PSAT important for admissions? No, with one tiny exception. So the admissions aspect, maybe two. The admissions aspect has never been driven by the PSAT score because colleges eventually see SAT scores. And that's what they put their stock in. A student who has a really high PSAT but doesn't back it up with an equally high or at least close SAT is not getting any advantage. The PSAT at many colleges isn't even looked at. So here's one of those two exceptions. Because of COVID cancellations, some seniors last year weren't able to take an SAT or an ACT. They had a PSAT score on record, so some colleges were able to make minor judgments based on the PSAT. The other minor is if you are a recruitable athlete, okay, somebody who could be on a coach's early list for we want her to play field hockey. The PSAT can put those top tier candidates, or you don't even have to be top tier, you just have to be strong enough to be accepted onto the team. So then that early knowledge by a coach could help with the recruitability. Now, if later on you're still looking to play that sport, show that same coach 6 months later a really big SAT score, almost certainly coach is going to slot you as well. So it's a very small possibility that you are relegated to a lower recruiting tier. So the SAT or the ACT is what students want to gear up for. Final question. How relevant is studying for the PSAT? And here the answer is irrelevant if you're studying for the SAT or ACT. Because when you study for one of those, you are, as a byproduct, studying for the PSAT. So no matter how much importance you put on the PSAT, your study's being taken care of. The PSAT is almost exactly the same as the SAT, a fewer high-level questions on the PSAT and a little more time to do them. ACT versus PSAT, a little different. There's no science that'll show up on the PSAT. Not a big difference, though, and studying for one of the big two tests gives you the PSAT as a byproduct. Now, to some extent, the PSAT has a bit that's misleading. This is important. The best practice for the SAT is taking SAT practice tests, not the PSAT. Not even PSAT practice tests, because they are in the wrong format. They give more time than they should. Your kid needs to be gearing up for the proper amount of time on the SAT, which is a little less per question. They don't have the highest level, and they don't even report the highest level questions, and they don't even report the highest possible scores. They cut it off at 760 instead of 800. It's kind of perverse. We have no idea understanding why, and the College Board has never explained itself very well. So, gear up for the SAT. PSAT, if it's important, comes along kind of naturally. We at Ivy Bound give students a few PSAT practice tests, so they can be in that format and can potentially land those national merit scholarships. I'm Mark Greenstein for Ivy Bound. Thanks for hearing me out.